Lost. I've never finished Lost. I don't think I've ever got past the middle of Series 2, and I've tried probably 3 times. And it does feel like one of those shows that I should watch.
It feels like one of those shows that I just assumed you'd have watched.
Well, I was very much into it when it first started, and I can't remember. I think Channel 4 lost the rights to Sky, and I don't think I had Sky in time.
They lost the rights, yes. You're right, until the end of Season 2, yeah.
So I think I lost touch with it right there.
There was a time where, like, BBC had 24, Channel 4 had Lost, Channel 5 had House, and they all went to Sky around the same time.
Yeah,
Sky
there was
bought them
Prison
all up.
Break.
Prison Break as well on Channel 5, yeah.
Yeah, but I liked Lost. I liked the flashbacks. I liked the intrigue. I liked the storytelling. I wouldn't say that the characters were amazing. I think I preferred Sawyer as the best character, and I think, like a lot of people, he was the bad guy. So he was not the bad guy.
I thought you would connect with Hurley the most. Yeah, Lost for me, I think 3 was the one where I really struggled. The end of 2 was all right, but by 3, I think we were all struggling, and then there was a twist at the end of 3 which sort of changes everything. So
yeah, there's stuff to do with time travel and stuff that begins to make it all more interesting, and there's more characters on the island that you didn't know about and things like that make it more interesting.
On a boat, they were on a boat.
Yeah,
to the island.
And then you start to get the Oceanic 6 storyline, which I'm aware of. So
there was a lot, like Glee. There was a lot of buzz around the first season, and then as it went on, people just didn't talk about it.
I think what Lost got was very much a lot of big fanatics. Those that loved it a lot. It almost got to cult status pretty quick.
But I think a lot of people were annoyed by the ending because it didn't answer all the questions that they had.
I don't think they could have ended it in a way that would have appealed to anybody, to the masses.
Didn't appeal to anybody. No, you're right.
No. The Crown. This is the new royal drama on Netflix that started a few weeks ago with Matt Smith playing Prince Philip. Based on real events, but not a true depiction of what happened. Obviously, they've done a lot of creative license with
I don't think you'd like this because you didn't like the royal family, did you? So.
Oh boy.
I think if this was on ITV, you wouldn't be gravitating towards it the same.
I'm kind of surprised it's not. But
it's because it's on Netflix that you think that you should be watching it, isn't it? Do you think if Victoria was on Netflix, though, for example, you'd be watching that?
Not sure. I don't know. I mean, it's a good point.
But I don't think you would. And the problem is with all these shows is there's not any jeopardy because we kind of all know where the story goes.
When I was at school, I was very much into Churchill. I visited the War Cabinet.
Oh, yes. No?
Oh, yes. No, not that Churchill. And I visited his family home, and I read all the books and stuff. So, and I know he features heavily in the early part of Queen Elizabeth's reign.
He does, but I think from what I've read, John Lithgow sort of chews the scenery a bit.
Yeah, I was a bit nonplussed about John Lithgow as a choice. So. I have to say, but it intrigues me. That's why.
But on the whole, do you think it's the Netflix effect rather than? Because I don't think if this was on Sunday night on ITV, you'd be going, "I've got to watch The Crown," or the BBC even.
Yeah, maybe.
Although to be fair to him, he did call the midwife this year.
Yes, true. To be fair.
I know that I don't think either of you have actually seen this. I'm going to go to Person of Interest, Series 3 onwards. I have watched Series 1 and 2, and I think a little bit of 3, but not much. This is Jim Caviezel, Jesus himself.
Oh, I thought you'd stood on something.
So what you could say, Gary, is that you didn't have a lot of interest in Person of Interest.
Oh, well done.
Ooh, see, well done. Matt is on fire.
He's smoking these ones. Yeah. They're zingers. Did you have a zinger at KFC?
A bucket for one.
A bucket for one.
That sounds really depressing, doesn't it? Just a bucket for one.
Bucket for one.
Well, at least I didn't eat the bucket for 3 on my own.
Well, there's that.
I know my limit.
There is that.
I know my chicken limit.
Chicken limits, wasn't that a Tina Turner song?
Oh, what was chicken limits?
So yeah, Person of Interest stars Jim Caviezel and one of the guys that was in Lost,
Michael
Jacob.
Emerson.
Thank you very much.
Ben Linus.
That's a very good show. It's very technological. It also has good guest star characters. When Channel 5 was showing it, I was watching it. They've given up. I don't even know if it's on 5 USA now, but it is on Netflix.
Netflix. I've got a friend who's sort of been watching it on Netflix. It's one of those that looks like sort of just one sort of switchy brain off, sort of quite.
It is. It is very much the case of the week, but then they do have season-long story arcs and characters that because it's a 22, 24 episode series. They sort of throw in a double header that's brilliant, but then it goes back to the kind of the case of the week.
And Gary, one of your favourites was this as well as a main character in the first 3 seasons. Taraji P. Henson.
Oh, of course, Taraji, yes.
Any of these shows we've talked about, are there any that you're excited by? Are you just thinking... Because some of these sound like you want to fill the time. Some of them feel like you want to just finish them so that you can say you have and you've been a completist. Are there any that you're excited by?
I think what I'll do is most of the ones that I've mentioned so far are high up on the list. They're like things that I've been meaning to do and want to do. There's a bit of a difference. I'll mention a few in passing, which are ones that have been on the list for a long time.
Go on, then.
True Calling was another one that I was...
It's like the whole Trouble lineup, this.
Alicia Dukushu? No, I never know. Is that right? Dukushu or something?
Alicia... Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know. She was originally in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
One of the Buffy cast.
Yes. Yeah. And this story was her... working as a night porter in a morgue, and the bodies woke up and told her to solve crimes.
That's it.
It sounds ridiculous.
And it probably is. Leave that one.
And it probably is. But that was one where...
Looking up on Wikipedia, by the way, Gary, it has got the phonetic spelling. It's Dujq.
The aforementioned the 5, that's on the list.
No,
but I have no real...
The aforementioned the 5. Sorry, God. But isn't the sequel going to be the 4?
Yeah, they're going the wrong way. A couple of others. The Catch. This was because it was the latest in a line of shows from Shonda Rhimes.
Not the one about the fishing ships on Channel 4.
Yeah. That was brilliant. I'd recommend you watch that. I think you'd enjoy it.
Narcos.
No, but that's been axed. Narcos.
Okay. Well, there we are.
Narcos was always one I fancied as well. Actually.
Yeah, and it might be the Netflix influence rather than anything. iZombie. The reason for that one is because it's written by the same guy that did the one with Kristen Bell,
Veronica Mars.
Rob Thomas. Written by him.
There's a teenage girl just dying to get out of
Wasn't that Veronica Mars? Was that Trouble? No, that was Living, wasn't it?
That was Living.
Yeah, Veronica Mars. Veronica Mars. I watched on box sets because
I was a big Veronica Mars fan.
Yeah, me too. I've watched all four series. Sense8, which was by the Wachowski brothers who did The Matrix.
It'll be the Chronicles of Shannara next.
No, it's true. This one that I always feel like I should have gone back to. Actually, there's 2 here that I always feel I should have gone back to. One was Rome, a co-production between BBC and HBO.
I didn't know you'd been to Rome. Classic.
Next I'm doing Venice.
Leave the comedy to me, Luke.
I seem to be off the game.
And then the other one, and these 2 are the shows that my uncle keeps banging on about, is where is it? Deadwood.
Luke, have you sorted out the smelly box sets yet?
I have. I've aired it out. I aired out my...
right. Was that Deadwood that you got?
Maybe
it was just being authentic.
The box came in Deadwood.
Yes.
That's why it smelled so much.
I bought this in a cool box set for £1.10 on eBay.
Wow!
And I haven't started it. I must confess, this is one of the shows that I think I'll like because there's a lot of critical acclaim and fan acclaim. Is it one that you've started and didn't?
No. It's one I've always avoided because I'm not a fan of the cowboy films. I'm not a western.
On that sort of is the similar era, and people have recommended it to me before. Did anyone watch Carnival? And that was
no. Again, I've watched probably 2 or 3, but I couldn't grasp what the storyline was.
If you're on the 3rd episode and you don't know, I think you did.
No, and it's a collection of great actors, and everything looks amazing, but I couldn't quite grasp what the point was.
I think sometimes I'm put off actually by things that have a lot of great actors in them, because a lot of great actors do not a good TV show make necessarily. I mean, look at
not all the time. No, and I think some of the best ensemble casts are sometimes people you've never heard of. When they try and put together a great cast of people just based on great actors, yeah, you're right. That
like if you say something like The Event had quite a big cast.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I mean, what was the famous one?
What was the one that had Dustin Hoffman in that they cancelled because all the horses died?
Look.
Yeah. That had a big cast, didn't it?
What a great title it had, though.
I know. I think I watched the first episode, but probably for the very early.
That was Dustin Hoffman, Nick Nolte, and someone else, wasn't it?
And Nick Knowles.
Nick Knowles.
I hit you with a comedy.
Oh.
I've only ever watched the first 2 series of 30 Rock.
I thought you know what? When you said that, I thought you were going to say 30 Rock.
How?
I don't know why.
Who?
Yeah. Okay, do you want to know why?
Gary,
Prime...
quickly. Luke's speechless.
No, quick, how do we... Quick, say
How
something.
do we harness this?
Oh,
too
he's
late.
back again. So only series 1 and 2 are available on Amazon Prime. You have to pay for the rest of them. So last year's Black Friday, I picked up the 1 to 7 box set, which I haven't started yet. So
it's funny how you assume. I always assumptified that you had seen all of this.
No, but he would have watched all of Sunset, whatever that was. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, which they both came out at the same time, didn't they? And very similar themes. They're both
this kind of spoofing of the late night TV genre, or the Saturday Night
comedy,
Live.
Saturday Night Live.
I like this, but I always feel like I have to be in the mood for this, though. That's what I would say. We've all owned the same box set, and I always feel like I have to be in a 30 Rock kind of mood.
Well, I sort of petered out. It took me a while to get through the last season, because I think it did go on one season too long, I think, 30 Rock.
As so many of these shows do,
yeah. My friends bought me the box set, and I think it was the last 3 episodes I hadn't seen or something like that, so I have got the season 1.
Right.
I think season 1 and 2 are probably I think it's one of those that sort of dips as it's sort of diminishing returns, isn't it, Luke?
I've rewatched series 1 and 2 probably twice.
Well, I would say it doesn't go round in circles. It doesn't repeat itself.
No.
But it just sort of goes on a bit too long and doesn't know.
Although the stuff with Matt Damon was quite good.
But it goes on. It just doesn't know what to do and where to go.
It's almost sort of sketch comedy rather than.
Well, they do the live episodes as well, which are like live versions of the sketch show. I assume you'd watch it. It's one thing in its favour.
One reason you might have thought that is because he's watched it, but he's watched season 1 and 2 3 times. So
yeah. Do you realise if you'd not done that, you could have finished it?
Okay.
I'll tell you what my favourite episode is, though.
Go on.
MILF Island.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But
with Deborah.
That's an indication that it's on. That's in the second series, isn't it? MILF Island.
Yeah.
So that sort of tells you. But yeah, I definitely would, because
me too.
Does a lot of good work in it, and as you've got it, flaunt it, mate.
Well, this is it. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that this is not one that I have to go and search out. So, well, no, let's attack something that I know you're both going to say yes to, which is series 3 of The Americans.
Yes,
that's fairly easy. This is going to be high up on the list.
And 4. I don't know how you'll
find
4.
I don't think I can watch 4 for free, so
yeah.
I'd have to pay for it, which at the moment is not an option. With Christmas coming up, so
you're your own man with your own brain, your own foot, and your own food diary. But if you do one thing for me as a friend, and I don't have to hold you too close to my bosom. I really would like you to.
That it was cold feet, and you know how that ended.
No, series 3. Don't worry about.
Well, you don't know how it ended because you didn't.
You don't know how the first. Don't know what happened at the end of the first break. But with the Americans, especially 3. I mean, 4 was good, and The Americans is never bad. but 4 was
Yeah. The impression I get is that
was good and better,
the
but
quality line